and welcome to the Wealthy Teacher Show, and I am your host, Dr. Victoria Boyd. Boy, and this season just keeps getting better and better. I'm really looking forward to season 2 because I have lined up some fantastic guests. And one thing that's really bringing some phenomenal people this way is our affiliation with the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce. It has been one of the greatest or most valuable relationships that I can remember creating over the last year or so. And one question you might have is, how does the Health and Fitness Chamber align with the Wealthy Teacher Show? Yeah, we're produced by the Philantrepreneur Foundation, which is a nonprofit. But if you think about it, both the Philantrepreneur Foundation, the Wealthy Teacher Show, and the Health and Fitness Chamber, we're all about sharing knowledge. That's what's important. We are here to help other people, other businesses on many levels. And so our alignment of what we do is education, awareness, and resources. And if you think about it, the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce, it's really a vibrant community of not just health and fitness individuals or services. It's a wide range of different businesses, people, entrepreneurs that come together, and the different focuses might be business development, marketing strategies, speaking skills. We even have some real estate and lending companies that come to the meetings to share the information that they have. The reason being that no matter what your business, whether it's fitness, health, you need all of those services to be successful. And so it's an educational platform. And I'm so glad that we have built a relationship where they're the sponsors of the Philantrepreneur nonprofit, and the Wealthy Teacher Show. So another great benefit, and I alluded to it earlier, is that we get to feature some phenomenal members. Really, those members, you need to really come out and meet some of the different variety of people that show up to the meetings. And today's guest is absolutely no exception. Today we have Dr. Vicki D. Coleman, and her resume reads like a 20-chapter book, but I'll get to that resume later. But she's here to share because she's also known as the anger doctor. And that's really unique because, she's a highly acclaimed practitioner, speaker, and trainer, but we often don't think about anger as a single topic. And the truth of the matter is that we really need to deal with anger. We shouldn't suppress it, because if we're not dealing with that anger, we just don't have a balance in our life, because it is really back there guiding a lot of the decisions that we make in life. So I'm really excited that we are going to be talking to Dr. Vicki D. Coleman in just a few minutes. But as always, before we get to our fabulous guests, let's not forget that the Philantrepreneur Foundation is the producer of this show. And as the producer, it's a nonprofit, and we are always trying to support the community. But as a nonprofit, we need the community to support us. And we have a couple ways to do that. One is, want to be an expert? You can come on the show and be interviewed. For just a small donation, what we give you is a video platform, exposure, marketing. You have an opportunity to educate and bring awareness of the services and the value you bring and can provide the community. And so, more important, being interviewed by me, you are now recognized as the expert in your industry. And it's a valuable video that you can share with many people. And did you know that one video is worth 1.8 billion words? Absolutely. Look that data up. It's a win-win-win situation for you. Yeah, I said 3 wins. Okay, let me explain it. Yes, you get to share what you're doing. Yes, you're promoted as the expert in your industry. But third, you get the services and production services of the Wealthy Teacher and the phenomenal Rigel Studios. Right here in their studios, 3D cameras, all of the production. I'm proud to be a part of their family. You need to come on in and be a part of their family too. So with that said, we need to first thank our sponsor, the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce, for being our great show sponsor, and then some of our other sponsors such as Rock's Place CBD Oil. We're going to be right back with our wonderful guest, Dr. Vicki D. Coleman. See you in a minute. Five top benefits of HempWorks CBD. Number 5, reduces stress and anxiety. Number 4, supports heart health. Number 3, protects immune system. Number 2, anti-inflammation. And number 1, pain relief. 10 reasons you need HempWorks as your source for CBD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It works. And welcome back to the Wealthy Teacher Show. And as I've said before, my name is Dr. Victoria Boyd, and we're now back with our guest, Dr. Vicki D. Coleman, and she is better known as the anger doctor. And so earlier I talked and just mentioned about, we can't hold this anger in, but we're not going to get to that anger stuff right now because okay, I always do my research and I want to find those little tidbits, and I mean, you had a lot of things out there to read about. But one thing stood out to me. We're both from Detroit.
And I didn't know that.
I
was so excited.
Now it makes sense why we sort of gravitated toward each other.
Yes.
Because, when you're from the Midwest, you just sort of come with a different mindset. Not that anything's wrong with Las Vegas here. You just have a different aura about you.
Yes, different values, core beliefs, and world.
Yeah. So originally from Detroit, understand that you're from the Northwest, because you mentioned Mumford High School, and I went, oh my God. My house that I lived in was about a mile from Mumford. In fact, it's the high school for my community, and all of the kids there go to. So we were really, truly in the same neighborhood for a little while. And so I mentioned earlier, it's about less than 6 degrees of separation.
I think it's 4.5.
4.5. Okay,
yes.
We'll go with that. It's probably down to 3 somewhere.
Yes.
But okay, so. Is that where you went to school? Tell us about some of that history, how you gravitated or transitioned to Las Vegas.
My family moved from Detroit to Chicago, and I went to 8th grade in high school in Chicago.
Okay, so you were at elementary level as a youngster.
As a youngster.
And so you don't have a lot of memories, but it's still home. That's where you were born.
It's still home, and I still have cousins there.
Okay.
And while I was at Purdue, Purdue is about 125 miles south of Chicago and Detroit. At that particular time, I could fly nonstop from the Purdue airport to the Detroit City airport.
Right, yeah, and over there on the east side.
Yes, and so almost every weekend I would fly up to visit my parents and my family. So that was, for like $25 or $50
I know.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was such a treat to be able to do that.
Those were the good old days when we
Yes.
could fly around and do stuff like that. But I mean, it's great to know that, we have those Midwestern ties.
Yes.
And you even have someone on your staff that's also from Detroit.
Yes,
So,
Dr. Jan Newby.
yeah, so I mean, it's just amazing. I did not find this out until yesterday. It's,
Oh, wow.
because I said I do my research.
You're a
I
great
was
researcher.
looking up what you do. And so you mentioned Purdue, you mentioned going to high school in Chicago. What high school
I
in?
went to Farragut Career Academy.
Okay,
The same high school, by the way, that, what's his name, the Wheel of Fortune guy went to.
Pat
And
Sajak?
Pat Sajak and Kim Novak and some other people.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll accept that. I can do the whole celebrity. I taught at Cass Tech, where Diana Ross, Lily Tomlin, David Allen Greer, a lot of infamous people
Yes.
evolved out of Cass Tech. Okay, so now we've done our high school plugs.
All right.
Let us move on a little bit more to, so how did you, what college did you go to?
I got my bachelor's and first master's from the University of Iowa in Iowa City.
Okay,
Go Hawkeyes. And then I got my second master's in counselor education from Northern Illinois University
okay.
in
I
DeKalb,
know it
Illinois.
well. I know it well. I've worked with some people there.
Yes, and then I headed east and got my doctorate in psychology, counseling psychology from Rutgers University,
Absolutely.
New Brunswick, New Jersey,
Georgie.
Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, yeah, and we actually have their logo that will pop it up
Thank
there
you very
to give
much.
their little shout out for.
Yes, thank
But
you.
even you got the degree there, but you also taught there too.
Not at Rutgers. At
Okay.
Rutgers, I was a residential advisor.
Okay.
I was in charge of 3 apartment buildings
Okay.
for upper class women, and so that was a very interesting experience
Okay,
because
3 apartment
yeah,
buildings.
3 apartment buildings that were in one location, and
Okay.
so that was fun because we were approximately the same age. So that was a lot of fun. We would have parties in the parking lot
Okay.
and those kinds of things. Yeah, so that was fun.
Okay, so before you moved out to Las Vegas, give us, you taught, you were tenured?
Yes, I taught at a few institutions, but I'm most proud to say that I was a tenured professor at Purdue University
Okay.
in West Lafayette, Indiana.
All
So
right.
that was a great experience.
Yes,
An opportunity
yeah,
for me.
just getting into what I call the higher education, where, because I've taught at Wayne State, I've taught at Wayne County Community College, I've taught at Lesley University out of Cambridge,
okay.
Massachusetts,
Yeah, I
and
have
I've
a
taught for
colleague
UNLV, so.
Yes, I
yeah.
taught part-time for UNLV also. And I think we have so much in common. Another common denominator, Dr. Victoria, is that I see myself primarily as an educator.
Yes.
Not a shrink.
That's-
Primarily an education is so key to the success of people and our society.
Absolutely.
So I love teaching. I really do.
And I noticed, yeah, because you have online courses and all of
Right.
that's
Taught
one of your
online.
specialty are the online programs that you.
Yes.
That's why this is called the Wealthy Teacher Show. Hello.
Yeah.
No, but and to emphasize to our audience that it's not about education, but it's about sharing information from individuals like yourself that have important things to say. You know,
Yes.
so yeah, we're not saying this is about teachers, but this is about everyone.
Everyone. And I think one thing that frustrates me, especially with technology and the internet, there is so much misinformation. For example, I see individuals post things, and then I just from my common knowledge base, it's like, that is not correct. But they get a post, and then they share it. And I'm very careful about what I share.
Absolutely.
Because I want to make sure that there's some accuracy and efficacy in the information that I'm transmitting. Because people, for us, that because we're doctors, people will believe what we
Yeah.
say.
It's the gospel now.
It's the
because
gospel, truly.
they said it. And that's why, like, there's many, of those mimes out there where people have written over pictures and they have misspelled words.
Misspelled
And I'm like,
words.
okay, can't do it. Even though I like what they're trying to
Understand,
say, but you
yes.
got too many
Right.
grammatical errors in
Yes.
it that I can't share it.
And then they don't realize with the grammatical errors and technical errors, then no one takes them seriously.
Yeah.
Because if you couldn't take the time, I mean, it's one thing to share and even copy different posts, but I want to make sure that it's accurate
Absolutely.
and that there are no grammatical errors.
Absolutely. So we're on the same page
We
there.
sure
You know,
are.
the wealthy teacher, information, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely. So I mentioned that you do a lot of online courses. What are some of the topics of those courses?
Well, most of the online classes I teach are psychology, counseling, human services, and U.S. history.
U.S. history.
Yes.
You just threw something in there.
Yes, well, see, people don't realize I changed careers. And so I started out wanting to be a lawyer. And then I thought, well, maybe I used to, you know how history courses are boring? I had this one history professor, and I'll have to give him a shout out, Dr. Ellis Hawley. He even has a prize named after him from one of the historical associations. I took his class, and it was so exciting because
Yes.
it wasn't just, usually most history courses focus on the wars, from
Yeah.
one war to the next.
That's how they write
But
the books.
right,
Yeah.
but he would talk about what people ate,
Oh.
the clothing that people
He's
wore,
talking about the culture.
the culture,
He
and
got
I
into the
thought,
culture.
wow. So I ended up having a minor in U.S. history for
Okay.
my bachelor's
It's more of an
degree.
archaeology point of view.
Yes,
You know.
and speaking of that, so I thought I shifted gears and I thought, well, maybe I'd like to be a museum curator or archivist.
Yes,
Because I
that's-
love research and
Yep.
culture and anthropology. So I ended up getting my first master's in U.S. and Latin American history. So
Okay.
and a lot of people don't realize it. They think I did psych. But I think because of my multidisciplinary background, that I bring a different perspective to psychology.
And I think that also, I mean, that's an alignment that we are. My background is health and physical education. My bachelor's degree was health and physical education. Then my master's degree was in dance history and production.
Yes.
And then somehow I went way over to the left side.
Uh-huh.
Organizational management is the doctorate. And so
But it's all related.
It
That's what
is.
people don't realize. They'll say, well, why did you do this? And it's all related.
yeah,
They don't
the
understand.
systems of choreography, just breaking down things and putting it back together, that's what business is.
Yes.
It's business systems. It's
Yes.
you have to analyze it, break it down,
Break
and
it
then
down.
help the people build it back. And that's how I segued. Plus dance, I was into the nonprofit sector, the business side and management of it,
Yes.
and it just all fit
So
together.
it fits together. And for me, I'm big on historical antecedents. So when I'm working with my clients and patients, I want to know, it's not that I'm Freudian, but I want to know the historical antecedents and the decisions that they've made
Yeah.
as we move forward and helping them through the therapeutic
It's called the
process.
experiences. What is influences
Yes.
how you move forward. So and John Maxwell has a great theory that he put together, a formula, E plus R equals O. Events plus responses equals outcome.
Yes.
And
I agree with that.
all of that has to do with history and what we experienced. We're going to talk more about you as the psychologist and the services you do after we come back from this real brief break. Okay, we are back with our wonderful guest, Dr. Vicki D. Coleman. And I want to emphasize that because I'm Dr. Victoria Boyd, but we have Dr. Vic. We go to different networking things and we're saying the two Vickies are here, the two doctors are here.
Yes.
But let me get more into your professional career right now. Okay, you're Amazon #1 bestseller. You're recognized behavioral health specialist. You're a traumatologist, okay? I'm glad you said that for me. You're a professor, a talk show host, well, join me here, a speaker. I want the audience to know she has 12 licenses and certifications in multiple states. Because literally I had to go through and count her licenses. I was like, okay, all right. Former tenured professor at Purdue University in Indiana. She's worked at Northwestern University. I mean, I could just keep going on. But actually, if you look at this list, the most important thing was she's from Detroit. So,
Yes.
you know, there are priorities.
There are
All that other
priorities in
stuff
life. The other stuff doesn't
doesn't even matter. But we're going to get to that other stuff now. So tell us, in my opening, I talked to you about people holding back anger, and they really need to talk about it, to get it out, because your life will never be balanced if you hold in this anger. So why are you called Dr. Anger?
Well, several years ago, when I had a contract with the City of Las Vegas Municipal Court, and I taught domestic violence courses for male and female perpetrators, also impulse control, substance abuse, the DUI school. And at that time, I got a lot of requests for court-ordered, corporation-ordered,
Oh.
university-ordered, spouse-ordered, mandated anger management training and counseling. And I thought, well, this is interesting, an interesting trend. And so what I did, and it wasn't just from Las Vegas or the state of Nevada. I got requests from all over the country. So I thought I wanted to brand myself, to make myself different from other people in my profession. So I just thought of the anger doctor one day. And so that's my brand. And it's interesting though, because sometimes people read it as the angry doctor.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
the angry doctor, I'm
Yeah.
the anger doctor. But it's very important because I have developed a theory that trauma, conflict are caused by fear and anger. And oftentimes when I say that to people, Dr. Victoria, they say, oh, no, and people will say, oh, I'm not angry. And just the way they say it, I can tell, because sometimes we are angry, all of us, but it's not manifested outwardly.
Right. And that's why I was saying that you hold it in, and it comes out, but
It comes
through
out through different
actions or characteristics or just ways you behave
That's right.
is manifested and has the root cause of some anger. And that anger, what caused that anger might have happened years ago.
That's usually the case. Remember earlier we talked about my interest in history and historical antecedents, and that's what I want to do when a person, whether it's mandated or self-referred, I want to discern what are the historical antecedents of your anger, because that's so important, because before we can move forward with any appropriate interventions, I need to know why. Why, and in fact, sometimes my tagline is, why are you so angry?
Yeah, okay.
I've used that as
It's, I
tagline.
mean, almost everything starts with the why,
Yes.
whether it's positive, negative.
Yes.
The why is so integral in everything we do,
Everything we do.
what job we take, what career we go down, and our personality, or you know,
Yes.
how we react to different things.
Yes.
So if I'm an angry woman here, if there were 3 things that you would take me through initially, what might that be?
Well, I begin, one of my areas of interest and expertise is self-concept development,
Okay.
because I believe our self-concept is manifested in the careers we select, in the behaviors, in all of our actions and decisions. And so what I like to do with, even before that, I have an exercise that I developed, and it's been published in a textbook called Favorite Counseling Techniques. It's called the Lifeline. And the purpose of the Lifeline is to look at the past, the present, and the future.
Okay.
And what I want to do as I help the individual examine his or her lifeline, then I look at values, core beliefs, decision-making skills, and then short and long-term goals. I think it's so important for us to do that, to get an overview.
It sounds so familiar to just organizational development.
I think everything is related. And what I've learned about the academy at the university level, we have, of course, schools, and then we have colleges, and then we have departments.
Yep.
And there's a lot of territoriality because this is my department, this is your department, and oftentimes, especially in the social sciences,
Yes.
the courses are the same,
They're
same
overlapped.
content.
Yes.
But no, you can't. You've got to take these courses in my department to graduate. You can't take that course over there, even though it's the same content.
Yeah,
So.
and it might be just having a slightly different perspective
Right.
that actually might relate more to that student's needs.
That's right.
You know,
For example, when I was accepted into Rutgers, many of the not many, but a few of the classes that they wanted me to take, I had taken somewhere else. And
Yeah.
so I told my major professor, you know what he said? It doesn't matter that you took them somewhere else. You didn't take them at Rutgers
here.
and get our perspective. And you know what? I'm so glad that they made me take a couple of those courses
Yeah.
again, because it was every
Different
university has its own perspective, its own values, core beliefs.
Absolutely,
So it was
absolutely.
a great experience.
and our mission as graduates or going through any of those programs is to then mold them into pieces and bits of pieces and
Yes.
strategies that we can use effectively for whatever path that we're
Yes.
going down. So we did have a conversation about education today.
We did. Well, for me, I think everything is education. Everything. Yeah, everything
Just the mission of the Philantrepreneur Foundation, which is the producer of the Wealthy Teacher Show, it's education, awareness, and resources. Those three things, and they are all interconnected, overlapped. Okay, so if you had an ideal client, and who should reach out to you?
Well, I think anyone can reach out to me who's interested in actively participating in the therapeutic process, because oftentimes people participate because they're mandated. And those, although I appreciate mandated clients, oftentimes the mandated clients aren't serious about the process.
Yeah, and they're there because they have
to be,
and so they
right.
never really open up
Right.
and feel, okay, I can use this. I'm just trying to get through
I'm
this.
trying to keep my job
Yeah.
or my spouse
Right.
or
Yeah.
a friend.
They're using it to get somewhere else or to get through instead of looking at it as a true professional or personal improvement system that will help them move forward.
Yes. So my ideal client, I talk about the CS factor. And the C stands for commitment, and the S stands for sacrifice.
Oh.
So my ideal client, it could be of any background, because I work in all areas of behavioral health, but I want my ideal client to make that commitment and sacrifice, because I don't know, you may have had a similar experience. Clients come to you, and whatever their challenge or issue, say today is Friday, they want to resolve it by Monday, or no later than the end of the month. They've got it. And then I've had clients say, well, I'm going to switch, or you didn't help me. I said, but we only worked together for 3 weeks.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's helping now. There's a specialty called brief psychotherapy.
Yeah.
But it can't
And also
be
we're
that
in
brief.
the era of instant gratification.
Instant, yes. They want, if I can't solve my problems now,
right.
if you can't help me solve my problems now,
Yeah,
I don't
a
want
lot
to
of
work
that
with
is based on technology and just the digital
Technology,
world of
that's right.
instant access. And sometimes we have to, and I've done the same thing, say it takes time
It
to go
does.
through processes, because I work
Yes.
with a lot of nonprofits, and they want, well, I want to file my paperwork, and can I start fundraising?
Yeah, you
No.
yeah, no, not yet.
No one
Yeah.
knows about you.
Right,
there's a
right.
business process you need to go through to build your credibility, because I'm not giving any money to you.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So it's still, you have to go through a process to get where you not want to be, but where you need to be with all of the background and support. So how can people reach you? I know you have www.
www.angerdr.com.
Yeah, real simple. Anger.
Yes.
Doctor.
Or you can reach me on Facebook. I have about 4 Facebook pages. You can search Victoria D. Coleman, Dr. Vicky Coleman, Dr. Vicky, the Anger Doctor, or
All
the
of them.
Coleman Group. Yes.
And her email is info@angerdoctor.com. That's real
Yes.
easy.
Yes.
info@angerdoctor.com. It was a true pleasure. Do you have anything else you might want to just put out there for the community?
Yes. Well, I mentioned briefly about my area of expertise and interest in self-concept development. I want all of you to consider yourself first. You must, before you can make any decisions about any personal, professional, financial, think of who you are in terms of your self-concept. When I talk about self-concept, I look at 6 areas, and I didn't invent these areas. These were developed by a Dr. William Fitz, who is the original author of the Tennessee Self-Concept Scale, which is the most researched, most efficacious self-esteem, self-concept inventory globally. So I want you to consider these 6 areas of the self: personal self-concept, physical self-concept, family self-concept, social self-concept, academic work self-concept, and moral self-concept.
And that just about covers it all.
That covers everything. And once you've done a comprehensive assessment and evaluation of yourself, I think you are better prepared to make positive, satisfying, and appropriate decisions. So,
And I think I read that in some of your things. Put your own life, your air support on before you can help someone else.
That's right.
If you want to meet Dr. Vicky D. Coleman, you need to come on out to the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce. She's at almost every meeting. That's where I met her, and we've become great friends. The Chamber is a sponsor of this show. This is one of their dynamic members, as I said.
As you are, right?
Briefly, in my intro, I said, I get some great members on the show. But I want to thank you. I want to thank the Chamber for introducing us.
Yes.
And once again, if you want to reach Dr. Vicky D. Coleman, info@angerdoctor.com, and find her on Facebook. We're going to be right back. And we have come to the close of another phenomenal show. Once again, thank you to our guest, Dr. Vicky D. Coleman, but also to our sponsor, the Las Vegas Health and Fitness Chamber of Commerce, and rock4cbd.com. You can find more about Rock CBD at cbd-talks.com. Welcome and come back next time as we welcome another phenomenal guest on the Wealthy Teacher Show. See you next time.